Episode 44 of the Planet Nintendo podcast. Let's see what's on the menu for today. We got some PM picks, games we've been playing, games that are coming out very soon. We have some news topics that we want to talk about. Also talking about Octopath's success and another factor that might have led to it. And game developers commenting on some of Nintendo's comments. And what is our mid-year game of the year? Let's get it started. What's up, guys? Episode 44. And like always, I'm joined by the best co-host on the planet, Mr. Joe After Work. What's up, man?
Yo, it's going good. It's going good. My Joe-Cons are white now. I love them. I love them with everything.
Is that the like covers that you buy?
It's
or?
the D brand one, yeah.
Okay.
They feel good, man. They feel. I don't notice a difference. It actually feels like a fresh Joy-Con again.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Are those hard to put on or?
No. They slap right on, and like they recommend, or I think I saw Spawn Wave setting one up, and he had like a blow dryer on it. I slapped it on my Switch, and I threw it in the dock. I forget what I was playing. I think I was playing Easy at the time, and the heat just like stuck it on there. That thing's not going anywhere. I'm good. It's like, okay,
that's
there
awesome.
we go.
Before we start today, guys, next episode we have a very cool surprise. And if you follow us on Twitter, if you follow me or Joe on Twitter or the podcast on Twitter, you will know beforehand. But next episode we got something special. So I think
it's
we're
so
both
secret that I don't know what it is.
He knows what it is. Like when I tell him off camera, he'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh man.
But let's start with some PN picks. I'm pretty much playing the same thing. I don't know about you.
What did we pick last week? Bomb Chicken and Octopath, right? I think that was like what we were all playing. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Still playing Octopath. I bought Sonic Mania Plus, but that's sort of the same game there. This is for the people who like to import games. Taiko Drum. It's a rhythm game that came out in Japan. I downloaded that. It's $60 US.
Can you play that with just the Joy-Con?
You can play them with just the Joy-Cons.
Oh, nice.
They also have, like, if you go on PlayAsia, they have the drum thing for like, I think it's $72. A little pricey. I haven't bought it yet myself, so I want to. I'm just like waiting for the opportune time that I'm gonna like fully dedicate myself to some Taiko. But rhythm game guys, so you know I had to support.
And speaking of import, there is this baseball game that just came out.
Oh my god!
I think I'm gonna import it, man. It uses motion control. It's a baseball game. Why not?
Please do it. Please.
I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it is on PlayAsia, and it is a full price. But yeah, gotta have baseball. So onto recommendation. What's up?
Can't do digital, or you don't want to do digital?
I mean, the cover looks pretty sweet.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah. I mean, it's full price anyway. So
yeah.
But onto recommendations. Dead Cells comes out. We've been talking all about that. Also, me and Joe will start to talk about this a lot more. Blade Strangers next month.
Oh my god. Oh, I can't talk about that yet. Never mind. This is Tuesday.
Got exposed.
Yeah. Never mind.
Oh man, is it
Blade Strangers?
I don't even want to ask.
Next Tuesday,
so Joe,
you guys will find out.
You know more about Blade Strangers than I do. I mean, I know quite a bit, but why don't you explain like what that's all about? Your favorite little company there.
Oh man, Nicholas, who however you spell it, say it. Sorry, it's a 2D fighting game. Art animation is freaking out of this world. Like it's amazing. Even like the intro music, you guys can see it online on their website. It's got a whole story to it. From what I gathered from like the intro, it's the main chick from Code of Princess EX versus this crazy being, this crazy like techno disco chick in a tight suit thing, and there's a lot of stuff going on, battles everywhere, but then you have like other worlds colliding in terms of like other people from other indie games coming in. So like you got people like Shovel Knight, Azure Striker, there's a bunch of other games. I can't think of them at the moment, but like those are the two that always stand out to me, so I have to mention them.
Yeah.
And And yeah, I think this girl is going to be the main character. Code of Princess also comes out next week, so that's kind of like the precursor. You can kind of like get familiar with her lore prior to the Blade Strangers game, because I feel like it's going to really revolve around her. But it's a 2D fighting game. You get your specials, you battle, duke it out. I don't see this getting like crazy competitive in terms of like them showing up to like the Evo types of game of like fighting game tournaments and stuff like that, but I think it's gonna have like their cult following there. I feel like I would be one of them that's playing it. So
Binding of Isaac's in there.
Binding of Isaac, there you go. There's a ton of characters in there. What, like 10, 12?
You just reminded me. I do have some games on PM Picks. I picked up, by Joe's request, Azure Striker. Let me just say right now.
Yes.
The best Mega Man game on the Switch is Azure Striker. Like,
and with Mega Man X coming out tomorrow. Oh my god.
Dude, that's big. Azure Striker, so good. I mean, I can't really like Joe's made a ton of videos on it, so go look at that. Also, Sonic Mania Plus.
No. What do you think of it though? I need to know.
Dude.
People need to know.
It's so good. It's so good, man. I love. So, those of you who are not familiar, it's pretty much Mega Man, except there's some cutscenes and there's also a lightning power, I guess you would say, that is kind of like special to this game. And it makes for some good combat in some different things. Like you can target enemies and then use the lightning. And it's just a whole new way. And it's just like a whole new way to play those types of games. Highly recommend it. And I think, Joe, you were saying that it's going to be a lot harder to find soon.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, around me, it's really hard to find. I see like one or two every now and again. I've held off only because I want to get the Japanese version, but like I'm trying to, because it came, in Japan, they had a limited edition version. Comes with the soundtrack, comes with like, a few different things. I thought it was really cool. Like, I want to support the series out there. Like, get that cool one,
Yeah.
Black Hawk published it out here physically, so we didn't get like a special limited edition or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
there was nothing inside this one.
Yeah, man, it was just white, right?
Yeah.
I figured, so I was just like, I was kind of bummed about that. But I've been scouring eBay, and the price hasn't changed yet. So as soon as like games stop coming out, I'll save up for that.
It's so good though. Highly recommend that. Also, Sonic Mania Plus, I think, is one of the coolest deluxe editions that have come out this year. Ugh. This shiny holographic and honestly the best part, my dude Jams would agree, the Sega Genesis alternate cover is just insane.
That, not gonna lie, that was the reason I bought that.
Yeah. And the art book is cool too, man.
Art book is cool, but the Sega Genesis thing, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's
Here we go.
so
I forgot.
awesome, man.
Ocean Horn, limited runs.
Nice.
That arrived.
Is that the first limited release? Is that number one for
No, first. No? I haven't even gotten the first one yet. That's
Was it Thimbleweed Park or something?
Actually, wait, no. Yes, sorry. It's right in front of my face. Yes, Thimbleweed Park. I got it 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago it finally came. The Switch ones are finally starting to like ramp up and get processed and ready for shipping, so hopefully the other ones I've ordered come in soon. Thumper was the most recent one, so I pre-ordered that. Like, all the games that I want have been coming through limited runs, so I'm like, all right, I gotta wait. I gotta be patient.
So I actually picked up Sonic Mania Plus at GameStop, and the guy was like, why didn't you pre-order this? They literally got 2 in. So, yeah, I was pretty lucky there. I
pre-ordered the day before.
I always take a chance on games. I'm like, yeah, it'll be there.
Me too.
But it worked out this time. Normally we don't report on the news, but we have, I think, some interesting news topics coming out. I will start with the first one. Speaking of like limited run and stuff like that, Super Rare Games is set to release nine physical Switch games, including games like Mutant Mudds Collection, Worms WMD, Knights of Pen and Paper 1 and 2, Faerun Collection, N++, Adventure Pals, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which is out right now, in Staridon. Joe, any of those games stand out to you, man?
I mean, I would be silly if I didn't mention Mutant Mudds. Like, that. Mutant Mudds Monday for me was like amazing. That was the most that tested my patience and my my will for video games there. I'm definitely gonna get that one. I'm is Lovers in a Dangerous Time Space still available? Because I've been like teetering because the game's cool.
Is. Yeah,
and
I've been wanting to try out that game. The only thing is like it's heavily like you can play it single player, but it's multiplayer focused. But I heard it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally play a game by yourself. I mean, I played a good chunk of it, nothing crazy, but like a decent chunk. And it's challenging. It's definitely challenging playing it by yourself, but it is possible to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the challenge comes in. It's dope.
Yeah. So, just a little info on these. All of these will be $35.
That's cool.
And it is not so. It's kind of going back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but limited run used to be like we have a certain amount and that's it. Now they've kind of moved over to like pre-orders and then they fulfill the orders. So Super Rare Games only has between 3,000 and 5,000 copies of each of these, which if you think about it, that's not a lot at all.
No, yeah. I mean, that's still the same amount that limited run does, and it's more or less, yeah, I want to say that's how they started. I'm not 100% on that. But yeah, they usually run anywhere between like 3,000 to 4,500, 5,000 copies per print. And it varies depending on the game too.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good collection. Jules has come out and said that Mutant Mudds is getting 4,000. So he told us the number. So
he's so
that's pretty
excited
good
about that. I love that,
dude. And they all come with like little odds and ends. Like I guess there's some extras in there. And the Mutant Mudds one, man, that's at the top of my list right now.
I know. I look at the list and I'm like, definitely Mutant Mudds, and I'm teetering on Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, which I'm sure my time is running out as soon as we finish here. I'm gonna check. I'm like that close on it.
Yeah. The other games on there, I think Mutant Mudds and Worms are the only games that I have out of all those. I don't think I'm gonna double dip on Worms. Faerun Collection, that kind of looks like Kamiko, the art style of Kamiko. It's like kind of like a dungeon crawling game.
I want to say yes, and I've been tempted to pick up that game a few times, but I've held off just because there was like other things coming out at the time. But I feel like the hardcore dungeon crawling or the JRPG people that like oh gosh, what's this game? Revenant something. It came out on
Revenant
Switch.
Saga.
Yeah, like along those lines. I feel like that it might fall under there. I could be totally wrong. Wasn't this like an iOS or Android game as well, or no?
I think so.
Yeah, I feel like that it came from that realm of RPGs and whatnot.
And then Knights of Pen and Paper 2 is not even out on the Switch yet. It's like that was a new announcement. They just like, hey, that's gonna be out. And then Starden is a shmup. So I'm always tempted by shmup. So if you guys want any of these, you gotta act fast when they put the announcements up because these are limited. I mean, it's in the name, super rare. So yeah, act on those.
I'm gonna have to get Starden then. Damn it! Why'd you tell me that?
It looks awesome too, man. Yeah, those are all going to be $35 and limited prints of those. The next bit of news is our boy Mega Man. I think it's the year of Mega Man. Mega Man is getting his own show, which premieres August 5th on Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network's been doing this 80s revival thing. They've done
again
DuckTales, DuckTales and Thundercats. Joe, have you seen some of these screenshots for Mega Man?
I saw a quick clip. I didn't see like the I didn't see like the whole thing. I saw a quick clip. It looked like 3D Mega Man. Am I right? Like
yeah, yep.
And he looks kind of like not chibi, but it looks like they shrunk down a grown man into Mega Man's body almost. Like,
yeah,
it looked a little weird, but I mean, I'm sure like once I see like all the other characters and whatnot, whenever I see this, like God knows when the hell I'll actually turn on Hulu, or if I end up needing to get a sling box to see this.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing is, the style is definitely geared towards kids. So it looks like they're trying to, make some new Mega Man fans. But it's cool to see, man. We're getting. I mean, if you're a Mega Man fan, this is your year right here. Exactly. You're getting all the collections. And Mega Man 11.
Depending on who's writing it too, like I don't even know who's like writing the shows. If it's like anyone that's on the Cartoon Network staff. Some of those cartoon shows are pretty damn solid. Like, and they dig deep too. So. Who knows? This could be something that's really good, or it could be a flop like the one in the 90s, which I loved as a kid growing up, but we all know it didn't age well.
I like that one too. So I don't know. I'm not really hyped. I'm not a big Mega Man fan. I like to say I like Mega Man, and then I play the games, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Right foot jump!
Yeah. Breaking controllers. Yeah. But that's cool. I mean, it's coming out August 5th. So if you guys are interested in that is coming out. And the last bit of news, Breath of the Wild is appearing, or one of them is out already, but is appearing in 2 more games. Mario Kart 8 just released as a new skin. He got the glider and the bike. Yeah. And then also Monster Hunter.
That's wild.
What do you think about those?
Yeah, the Monster Hunter one, I believe that came out when Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate in Japan released last year, so it's kind of cool that we are getting that this, and lo and behold, shout out to Link right there. I think it's pretty cool. I like how they, in the ad for the Monster Hunter Cross Breath of the Wild, Capcom seems to be big on this whole cross thing with the Final Fantasy and now this, that they had him pick the Archer class in that one. Like, Monster Hunter Ultimate, Monster Hunter Generations is going to be a completely different experience to those who have played World. So if for anyone out there that's watching this has played Monster Hunter World, this one is a huge amount of content. However, with the caveat that it is dated in the control style, it is very much a step back in terms of how smooth World plays and how there aren't as many loading screens going into different areas. Like, the best way to put it is, if you go to a certain area to hunt a certain monster, there's generally like 7 or 8 areas, and each time you go into a different area, a load screen pops up. Imagine chasing a monster and then having to go through, wait for the load screen, continue chasing the monster. It kind of takes you a little bit out of the experience, but if you're playing it with friends, like you do with other Monster Hunter games, I think you'll have a good time with it.
Now, you already downloaded the Japanese version. Is that why that one came out early this year?
It came out last August, actually. So this is like a full year, which I feel is late, which is why I didn't think we were ever going to get this year. But yeah, they did it. They are giving us Ultimate.
Do you feel like adding Breath of the Wild Link into everything is kind of annoying at this point? Because I think it's badass, man.
I think it's cool. It's like, add them wherever. Add them. See, so here's the thing. Like, you want to make your games unique to that specific console, that's a way to do it. Like, oh, cool, we can get these Nintendo licensed updates in Monster Hunter, and we only have that. You can't get that on a PlayStation. You can't get that on an Xbox,
Yeah. And I did play the Mario Kart. It looks cool. I mean, it's just a new skin. The horn is like a sound effect from like the Sheikah slate. So it was well done. It's well done.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's our news. I don't know. We need a name for that segment.
The news.
Joe has a very interesting topic about a hot game right now.
Yeah. So, I'll preface this as, I don't mean to come off negative. That's not the intention here with this topic. I'm generally curious about what everyone thinks. You, Pat, everyone in the comments section, like, I want to hear everyone's thoughts about this, but Octopath came out last week. Everyone's been having a blast, and actually a week and a half now at this point. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how deep into the game I've been. Octopath came out, and it's been doing really well, and people are wanting to buy physical everywhere, having trouble finding it. In Japan, it's sold out twice now, and Square Enix has gone to apologize. I saw a number somewhere that, I don't know when it was dated, but they already had gone through 110,000 just in Japan alone. Copies, physical copies, which is kind of crazy. That doesn't even account for downloads. My question is, this game was fairly silent. It had demos. It had some marketing, leading up to it, but not really. I don't feel like, not nearly enough. And everyone's talking about this game, and everyone, it felt like it kind of went word of mouth on this one, and everyone is buying this. However, with the drought of games that we do not have, because June wasn't stacked with games, or July.
You don't even need them quotes, Joe. It's true.
It is not true.
I mean, we'll talk about that.
Do you think Octopath Traveler is doing so well because people aren't picking up other games on the Switch right now at this moment? Like Aces, no one picked up Aces that I know of. Like I know like maybe two people aside from you and me. I know two people that have bought that game. A few people bought Ys 8. The Lost Child came out. Like there's been a slew of JRPGs that come out, and this one in particular is just like, whoa.
Yeah, I will say this: third party and indie games have been great this year. Like honestly, like from last year, third party is just like, it's totally. We're in a good spot right now for Nintendo. I mean, we're getting Crash, we're getting Wolfenstein, like we're getting a ton of good third party games. This to me, and I haven't played this yet. I played the demo a little bit. But this seems this seems like a Nintendo Final Fantasy game, and it's interesting because I would almost bet that the majority of people playing this are like 25 to like 35. Like this is definitely like a nostalgia trip, but Octopath is a brand new IP. I think it does have to do with the lack on Nintendo's part, because I mean you can play third party games and eShop games and stuff like that, but Nintendo, you said it, like they haven't been putting out that many games. The games that they have put out are either Wii U ports or like kiddie games. Like we got like Kirby, Mario Tennis, I don't know. Labo, we all know Labo, but
man.
Yeah, I think it does have to it does have to do with the success or the lack of games that Nintendo's been putting out. But I don't know. I just think it's a good game, man. And the fact that I still can't believe that it's an exclusive for the Switch, which is so great. That's the best part of it.
Dude.
We got PlayStation port beggars wanting that game.
Finally, we got one.
Right?
Yeah, man. No, I agree with you with like, the people who haven't bought ports, but the ports have been doing well too. That's the thing that blows my mind, and then no one picks up Aces, or no one that we know picks up Aces, and it's like, what happened there? I mean, personally for me, this is the first Mario sports game that I picked up in a minute. Like golf on Game Boy. Like I honestly do not remember. Like I played Strikers a little bit. I never owned it.
Okay.
But yeah, dude. Like I think you hit spot on with the 25 to 35 for sure. Like that being like the demo of like people who played RPGs on the SNES on the PlayStation 1. Like that was their jam, and like picking this up and realizing like, whoa. This is still fresh. Like it's a 16-bit adventure ish that's got like that's been modernized for all intents and purposes, and really focusing on strategies, and really like it doesn't insult your intelligence when it comes to like just it's more than just leveling up and pressing A to attack. It's you got to learn how to figure out each enemy's weaknesses, break them down, and then like strategize on how you're gonna even just do a simple attack. You know, it still blows my mind with all the other third-party games that like we had a slew of JRPGs like I was just saying before, Lost Isle Ys. There was one more, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the hell it was. And Ys blew up more so than I thought it was ever gonna blow up. Like that's why I like downplayed like telling you like I didn't want to recommend it to you because I was like I don't know. And then everyone's just like whoa. I was like oh okay. I guess I was right in my thoughts, but just too afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
And then this one comes out, and it's like the summertime. There's nothing else out, and it's just like perfect time to release this game because hey, I can focus on this for the entire summer and you know not have to worry about anything else. I'm gonna get my bang for the buck, you know. One of the things I thought was really cool, though, just a quick side note, is these freaking alternate covers. I got them printed out of all the characters.
So those are you have to pay or
Coins.
use your coins or
use your 50 coins in order to get all 8 printouts. And then,
that's such a good touch, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
man. And I got the well, not for the Ys one; those were free. But Splatoon Octo expansion had one also. So I got to order more cases to get the rest of my Ys alternate covers done. But I thought it was dope.
Yeah. I think that honestly I think it is more so the demographic, and I think that it just solidifies for me that Pokemon Let's Go, no matter what the, you know, hardcore Pokemon audience is saying, this might be one of the best selling Pokemon games in a while.
And that's
like,
scary.
Yeah, it hits the demographic of the original 150 or 151 or whatever. It's just going to do great. And I think, I don't know, do you think Nintendo kind of adjusts some of their future plans based on the demographic? I mean,
dude, I think so. Like, I did not expect this with Octopath. Like, I knew it was gonna do good. I didn't expect the mayhem and pandemonium of like people wanting a physical card. And that's another thing about it too. Square's telling people to download it digitally. People are waiting for the physical copy of this game. You know, poor Raibo is still waiting for this game. It got updated to July 15th of next year. He
ordered it on Amazon?
He ordered it on Amazon, and it's still not there. I feel so bad.
I've seen probably about 40 copies in the stores that I went to. It's available for me.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, Pat, buy me.
It's at my Best Buy, just the regular game. I think the other thing was like the collector's edition too. They probably short ship the amount of collector's editions because they probably weren't expecting this much, but also it's a collector's edition, so yeah, you're lucky if you got one. You know,
that was one of the coolest collector's editions too.
I liked it, man. I liked it.
But also, you got to think like Octopath is doing well. Bloodstain, Curse of the Moon did really well, like as an eShop game, and you're starting to see that demographic of people. Maybe it's the lack of Virtual Console, maybe it's that, but I think that the Switch has found its demographic, and it's kind of cool that like old school gamers are hopping on this thing. So I don't know, maybe Nintendo goes instead, but I think ultimately it's just a good game, man. It's just it's solid. Good game.
I am 40 hours in and going through chapter 3 characters right now. I got
how many chapters are there?
I think there's 4 chapters. I think there's 4 chapters for each character.
Those damn reviews, man. I'm still not over it.
I'll be ready soon. I'll be ready soon, Pat. My first ever full-on review.
So our next topic, I always think it's interesting because when game developers speak out, because Joe and I could sit here for hours and we're just fans. We're just consumers of Nintendo or whatever. But we've had something that game developers have commented on. So Nintendo, I think it was like a couple weeks ago now, or a week or two now. They said that their goal or what they're planning to do is they want 20 to 30 eShop games released per week, that's nuts.
They don't do that already?
Yeah, pretty much. That's like over 100 games a month. And we actually have some quotes from different developers. And you might be surprised because they're pretty mixed. So let's go down the line here. So
Surprising too.
our good friend Jules Watcham from Atui, he says, quote, 20 to 30 games per week seems way too much. I can't see how this is positive for anyone, honestly. The market is already saturated, but the number of titles developers choose to release isn't under Nintendo's control. So he's definitely against it. We have someone from Image Inform. It's obviously quite manageable numbers compared to the App Store, Google Play, or Steam, but we've always thought that those are pretty overcrowded, haven't we? We also have someone from Devolver Digital. While anyone that launches a game on the eShop would probably prefer to launch amongst less competition, I still say that the number of games released alongside yours doesn't matter as much if you have an outstanding anticipated game. Joe, this is divided opinions. These are straight from game developers.
I know.
Whose side are you on, man? Are you on both sides?
Man, so I can see it, and I know I hate that I can never pick a side when it comes to these big things, but I just can't ever, because I can see it from both ways. Like, some of the things Devolver Digital says is right, but some of the things Jules and I'm gonna butcher this name, Brajan.
I tried to low key skip it, but Brajan.
I'm sorry if I butchered your name. From Image Inform. There's some things that they say that are absolutely true, and I feel like I lean more towards their side because yes, it is a lot of games, and it's like that's why curation on the Apple Store is starting to happen. They've hired so many editors to like go through these games and like have their editors picks and whatnot. Like that's why the App Store has changed so much on there. The mobile market is super flooded. Steam market is just notoriously flooded. And right now, like, Nintendo wants to do this, but there isn't a way to highlight the games that should be spotlighted on the eShop itself. Like, I can go to the eShop right now, and I can't find a game that was like that was on the main buying screen from a month ago. Like, I scroll, I have to hit view all, and then I have to go through a list of everything. Like, unless I know the name of the game, like if I'm just looking through and scrolling, like, dude, it is impossible to figure out. And it's like, yeah, we can sit here and say like, oh, but that's why Joe does a Nintendo Spotlight. Oh, that's why 8-Bit Eric that spotlights all these indie games. But it's like, at the end of the day, the big dog has to do something about that eShop. Like, we need some kind of system in place that's gonna showcase the premier indie games that are gonna go. And yes, this also goes into what Devolver Digital says. Like, if your game is highly anticipated, it's gonna do gangbusters no matter what. Yes, that is true. But what if, and I'm getting tired of this word, we might need to change the name, Hidden Gem, but like the games that, low key no one knows about and doesn't end up playing because, they see all these other games that they want to play, but this is a really solid freaking game and no one's going to know about it because it's flooded in 20 to 30 games a month. That's hard, and especially when indie developers are, living game to game, and they're self-employed people, They've got child support to pay, kids feed, all this stuff, and they work years upon years for one game, and it comes out, and it doesn't sell that good. Like, that sucks.
Yeah. I have to call out Devolver for a little bit, because they say that, well, if your game is good, it doesn't matter about the competition.
Yeah.
While you were just talking, I did something that I am shocked. Okay, so I did a little bit of math on my phone right here. So there was a report that came out that they said that the Switch just eclipsed 900 games on the eShop. Now, the Switch has been out a year and a half. If you take 900 games and divide it by the number of days that the Switch has been out, that's almost a game. That's over a game and a half released every day.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Nobody with any kind of income could possibly keep up. I mean, even time-wise, you can't keep up with every single game coming out. That makes me sick. Also,
oh my God.
Yeah. over 900 games, and also the fact that Image Inform is even comparing the eShop to the App Store in Google Play. That's a red flag right there. I think that something has to be done. I just don't know what. Like, do you make it harder for these developers to get dev kits? Like, how do you even do that? Because like, it's kind of like a little bit ignorant to say like, oh, that game, that's not a good game. Like, maybe they limit, like maybe they just don't allow mobile ports, or like, I don't know, but there is some good mobile games. So it's just like,
yeah, you know,
how do we, it's almost like, I mean, I have a few games that I would like to kick off the eShop, but like, it's just like, I don't even know how you would even start.
I mean, you start by hiring people to curate this goddamn eShop. Like, this is getting ridiculous now at this point that we're a year and a half out. We have, I don't even know, 900 games, because it feels like there's like 10 million games on the eShop. Yeah. And we can't do something that's similar to the 3DS by now? Like, they had that, I feel like they had that eShop set up relatively quick. And we don't even have like editors picks on the Switch yet. They had that highlighted section of like games, but like, what's everyone really playing? You know, not just the bestsellers, not just the featured section, but like, we want to know what people, you know, pick a random YouTuber a month that's like doing that, you know, doing gangbusters. Have Abdallah pick a few games on there that are good. You know, I almost said Etika, but no, they're not gonna pick. They're not gonna pick him.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Etika, my boy. But you know, have someone like Guru up on there, and freaking he'll throw up a bunch of stuff on there. But yeah, no, man. I guess I read it differently than maybe we have different sides on like how we read that Image Inform comment. I feel like there were like half and half on it. Like, I feel like there were, you know, obviously quite manageable numbers compared to App Store, Google Play, or Steam, but always thought those were pretty crowded, haven't we? Like, he's saying they're acknowledging that it's like super overcrowded, but some way they can overcome. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like a half and half comment. I don't know.
Yeah, they're admitting that there is competition, but it's not as bad as people are saying.
The other, But then what happens when it gets there?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. But as we stand right now, it's about 18 months in, and we have 900 games, which that's insane. And judging by these numbers, that's about 100 games a month. So what you're seeing now is actually going to increase, according to Nintendo. So I don't know. It's just it's a weird spot to be in, and I feel like Devolver kind of, I don't know. They're kind of saying, well, if your game is good enough, I don't know. But that to me translates to, if Nintendo spotlights your game, then you'll do fine. Against the other competition.
That's a huge point that Jules hit on too later on. I saw another tweet from him too about like, when your game's, you know, heavily advertised by the company that's saying they're going to release 20 to 30 games, of course your game is going to do good. And that is absolutely true. I mean, SteamWorld Dig 2 was like spotlighted heavy on that. And then, you know, Mutant Mudds Collection comes out and kind of silence, but then UK eShop showed up on there, and then there was a small spotlight like a week later, I think, for Mutant Mudds. I think I tweeted that to him, like, hey dude, it finally showed up, but it was like a week or two too late at that point, and it's like everyone else is playing something else, and that's frustrating, you know?
Yeah, and I wonder how effective like the eShop advertising is, because they did another thing. I saw that they were highlighting like soccer games, and Soccer Slammers was up there. I wonder how that does compared to like full on in a direct, or like on their YouTube channel, like trailers. They release random trailers. So
just a couple seconds, you know, and boom.
Yeah, I don't know, because Golf Story, that happened for me. Like, I saw it was just a little thing with Golf Story, and I was like, I'm buying that, and that's all it takes. Like, just show a little bit. I see.
You just
I'm
gave
in
me
the
an
camp.
idea.
What?
I'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. I'm in the camp where I want these Nindy spotlights. I wouldn't mind a full hour of Nindy spotlights. Like, I'd sit there, man. I would sit there and just watch everything coming out. But yeah, so mixed views in the game developer world. And then the final topic today, which seems almost laughable, is our mid-year Game of the Year picks.
It can't be laughable, man. We're
I mean,
harsh.
yeah, we are in July, August.
Oh my god.
Joe has played about 5,000 games.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think I know yours, but why don't you? I don't know.
You want to take a guess?
See, I think it's Ys.
See, oh man, and
Did that come out this year though? That came out, right?
So it came out last year on Vita and PS4. So I don't know if I can count it this year. Like I don't know if that you know if that's the caveat to like me not being able to pick that so far. But that has been my game of the year so far, and I've gone on and said that publicly a million times. But I was like, wait until Octopath comes out because I might change my mind, and my mind is changing so hard right now. It's like I am so torn. Like that's my top 2 right there. That's right, I said top 2 at me. It's just like both games had some really great stories. Octopath has its flaws with the story, in terms of like I still can't get over the fact that we have a thief in like I get the thief class, but like the way he jumps on board and some of his stories and then what happens in some of the other stories, I'll spare spoilers, like it throws me off so bad. Like, wait, why is this dude in the party then if that happened? And so I'm like, I'm confused there in that sense. And then there's some stories that are like, but Ys also has the same moments too, where it's like, did I really need to go there? And this is like part of the mainline story. So in that sense, like both are like equal. But man, like Ys 8 came at the right time for me, and it's just a solid. The gameplay is solid on that point. Like that is as action JRPG as you can get, and they stuck. Falcom sticks to traditional action RPG when it comes to Ys, and all they do is just make small modifications every time, and like the leveling up system, like again, it comes down to more than just leveling up in that game, and you're balancing different skills, different damage types between all the characters, who's in your party, and then the characters that bring you on the side quests. Like I feel like all the side quests in that game aren't side quests because your main mission is to get off the island, so I feel like I need to take care of everybody on that island and do all the main missions, all the side quest stuff to make sure that their approval of Adol is good, and also like just making sure we find all the survivors, and then also why the hell Donna is, you know, where she is, who she is, and what exactly the hell is going on there. And that true ending just like threw me way off. I was just like, what the hell did I just witness? And
you're kind of leaning more to Octopath right now,
and then an Octopath. So with that, you know, dude, that gameplay is just like perfect. Like it is so strategic. That's where it's more strategic than Ys 8. It comes to, you know, when it comes to the actual battle system itself, it's really smart. You know, you have to figure out. As I said earlier, you have to figure out your enemies' weaknesses, break those weaknesses, and then that's when you really can do the damage. And you know, your boost mechanic, which they pulled from Bravely Default, they basically took the Brave mechanic and left the default out. Which I didn't care about the default system anyway. Like, I'm just glad. Just give me more boosts. Give me more reasons to do attacks. They work in different ways based on the class system. So, like, if you're a magician, it's not gonna base it on how many attacks you can do with the boost. If you have a 4 times boost, it's actually just gonna make your magic power more potent and do more damage. Whereas if you're, you know, doing damage with the just like the regular weapons, then you're hitting multiple times to like get that break. Like this is the first game I've used a staff to actually break an enemy. Like I've never used a staff to hurt somebody, you know. And
I know I've been hearing like people using mages to like melee attack with, and it's just like
it's
awesome.
crazy, yeah. And then if you really want to get meta with it, like the healers, you know, you want to focus on your think it's your physical defense is what's going to give you the ability to heal more. So it's like you got to keep that in mind when you're changing out different armor sets or just weapons in general. It's crazy how meta that game is, and it's just like it's all up my alley of just like every old school JRPG game that I've ever played, and that's why I'm leaning more towards Octopath right now. But I gotta finish the game before I can really fully truly say it.
Oh man. See, I'm like totally opposite from you because I've been, for the most part, just underwhelmed this year. Like I've had fun with games, but they're not like like when I started playing Zelda, I was
Celeste.
No, yeah, I know. Like Celeste is probably my game of the year right now, which is weird, man, because it's like a hard, like Super Meat Boy, like super small, like indie game, and that's just not like, it doesn't feel right, but it's so good. If you have not played Celeste yet, I will buy it for you. I shouldn't have said that. Such a good game,
buy me
man.
Celeste.
But I will say there's a caveat because I have not played Octopath yet, and I have not played God of War yet. And I feel like those two might switch.
Oh, we're counting like other consoles.
Anything, man.
Dang, okay.
Have you played God of War?
No. I haven't played any God of War.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This isn't really, like, I like the idea of this God of War, but it's not what I'm used to. Like, used to be like Devil May Cry, like hack and slash, but this is like more adventure. So I haven't played those two games. I don't think Smash or Pokemon is going to be game of the year, like material. Pokemon I'm going to really enjoy playing, but
I agree.
Too stripped back, I think, to be like in that top tier. But yeah, so I haven't played those two games yet, but for me, it's Celeste. I think that game is just crazy good. And when I started playing it, I was like, I don't think I could finish this. But then, you know, you start learning, and it's just like such a rewarding game. And the storyline is great. I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, wait, that game has a storyline? I thought it was just like a platform. And I'm like, buy this goddamn game.
Oh,
Jesus.
my goodness. Yeah, man. No, Celeste is a beautiful game. I take that back. I probably have a top 3 right now.
Yeah.
With Celeste being included in there as those other 2 games. But I also have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC coming out in September. So it's just like, this is a JRPG year for me. Like, I'm in heaven right now.
You are like set.
I'm good. I am good, man. I still haven't even touched Lost Child yet. Like, I played a little bit of it. I'm just like,
There's a ton of stuff, man. And then is Doom coming out this year? The second Doom?
Doom 2? Good question. I want to say maybe. Is that like an October, November release?
It might be. It's either this year or next year, because I know that Rage 2 is coming out, so I don't know if they want to like.
I'll probably pick that up on Xbox, and that's the other thing too. Like if you know, we're talking about other consoles, I still have to play, and I'm the weirdo. I gotta play State of Decay 2. Like that's my jam right there. Oh my gosh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider comes out in September. That's another one.
Yep.
I feel like there's a PlayStation 4 game I'm missing other than Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man, I feel like I might be patient and hold off on, because there's way too many games in September that I'm just like. I
mean, we all know that the Spyro trilogy is gonna get game of the year.
Oh Christ! I'm gonna chuck my Switch at you.
I can't wait for that game. But yeah, Celeste, I would probably say is my game of the year. I would love to know other people's game of the year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's an open. I don't know. There's a lot of different games coming out, and but I don't know. Maybe we haven't seen the game of the year yet. We still have another 6 months to go. So,
dude, yeah, yeah. I'm looking here. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Oh,
I mean, I'm loving Sonic Mania, but that came out last year.
I know my game of the year.
I cannot believe you got that. Senron
blame Ribo.
we got to do another live stream of that, because we got to see it.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Tonight.
I'll stream it at some point tonight.
Go check out Joe on Twitch, man.
Oh my
Get stuff over there. But
God.
Speaking of that, Joe, where can they find you, man?
Oh man, Twitch and YouTube at Joe After Work, and joeafterwork.com has everything there. Make it nice and easy for you.
And you are already here on NintenTalk. New videos coming out every week. and episode 45 next week with a very cool surprise. So hope to see you next week. And yeah, have a good one, guys.